from the University of Laverne. This is Foothill Community News.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Foothill Community News. From the University of Laverne, I'm Ada Balderas.
And I'm Jasmine Soria. A local elementary school is at the head of its class for academic excellence. Reporter Nate Rodriguez tells us how Grace Miller Elementary in Laverne made the grade.
Grace Miller Elementary School in Laverne was one of 33 California schools honored as a National Blue Ribbon School for 2023. The Roadrunners made the list for helping students achieve academic excellence and for its progress in closing opportunity gaps among subgroups. Principal Leslie Sandoval is in the third year of her tenure and says the school has focused on inclusion.
So we have 2 of our 3 preschool programs in the district here that is called the BLAST program. And so we have students with identified needs. They have IEPs learning alongside their typically developing peers. And then we also added a TK program this year that does the same thing.
The school has over 400 students ranging from inclusion model preschoolers and transitional kindergartners to 6th graders. Its individualized education plans, or IEPs, helps bridge the opportunity gaps between disadvantaged students and their peers as early as 3 years old. Grace Miller seeks to have each student read at their grade level or higher by 3rd grade, using a research-based reading program to track progress. Students across all levels benefit from the collaboration among teachers and staff to help students reach their potential.
At Grace Miller, we work together. All the teachers work really well together. The office staff, they help us do our job. We really follow if you're in front of a child, you're a teacher.
It's this collaborative learning environment that helps distinguish Grace Miller Elementary.
It's a nice honor. I mean, really working with this team, and I don't see them as teammates or co-teachers, they're family.
Grace Miller Elementary is the first Laverne school in the Bonita Unified School District to earn a blue ribbon, the second one in district history, and one of only 33 schools in California this year to come away with the honors. Reporting from Grace Miller Elementary in Laverne, I'm Nate Rodriguez, Foothill Community News.
Remember driver's education and longing to be behind the wheel? Some studies are noticing a trend among Generation Z. They seem to be driving less compared to previous generations. Reporter Camila De La Fuente tells us all about it.
Learning to drive and getting your license may have been a rite of passage in the past. Generation Z, those born from 1996 to 2012, don't seem to be in a rush to get into the driver's seat. A data analysis conducted by the Insurance Information Institute shows 43% of 16-year-olds had driver's licenses in 1997, and by 2020, that number had fallen to 25%. The reasons range from the cost of driving to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Gasoline is so expensive. Cars are so expensive. When I was learning to drive, you could buy a very inexpensive used car.
When COVID started, I was put in a position where I couldn't learn how to drive and I had no options for it. And because of that, it took me longer. And the longer it took, now I'm older, insurance costs more.
According to the Insurance Information Institute, car insurance prices have increased nearly 14% between 2022 and 2023, with used and new cars soaring thanks to a combination of supply chain disruptions caused by the pandemic and high inflation. 20-year-old Mariela Velasquez uses public transport to get around to combat the expenses that come with driving.
Being public transportation has been the easiest method for me to get to places.
Young people also lack experience behind the wheel, and for some, that can make driving more fearful.
I feel like the biggest obstacle of getting my license was just my fear. I feel like I can get pretty nervous driving just because I'm nervous of crashing.
While it may seem Gen Z is embracing car-free living, research suggests that it may be a mirage.
A decade ago, young millennials also put off driving until they got older and could afford a car. So declining car use may not represent disinterest among Generation Z as much as affordability. Reporting for Foothill Community News, this is Camila De La Fuente.
A popular trend that has proven to be dangerous is the one-chip challenge. The company behind it is taking some heat after a teen's death was linked to eating the spicy chip. Reporter Taylor Moore has the story.
The One Chip Challenge is a popular dare on social media where participants eat one of Pocky's spicy tortilla chips, dusted with 2 of the world's hottest peppers, the Carolina Reaper and Naga Viper, then try to go as long as possible without eating or drinking anything to counter the heat. The challenge is so hot that its warning label says that it may cause what Pocky calls an abdomen attack, as well as nausea or vomiting. Levon Minishin is the co-founder of Fire Tongue Farms. He says the Carolina Reaper is bred solely for spicy food lovers to test their endurance.
It was bred with the purpose of like trying to be as hot as possible. There's always been a sort of culture of like trying to eat the hottest thing possible and who can survive.
The One Chip Challenge turned fatal when 14-year-old Harris Wallaba of Massachusetts died on September 1st after eating Pocky's hot chip. Although the chip hasn't been directly linked to Wallaba's death, Pocky has pulled the One Chip Challenge from store shelves. Student Diego Amari Hill shares his experience with the One Chip Challenge.
And as soon as it hit my stomach, it was like literally just burning the whole time. It felt like lava, like the lining of my stomach was melting away.
With so many warnings surrounding the challenge, the question remains, why do it? Minishin says the challenge releases endorphins, causing a thrill rush.
For most people, it's a totally safe way to get like a thrill ride, you know, without like going on a roller coaster or like jumping from a plane.
Student Michael Nystrom says he went into the One Chip Challenge thinking it would be just that, fun.
It'll be funny, and it was, but when you're in the moment, like, I just wanted to like die. It was terrible.
Pocky continues to sell their other products, such as their mild spicy chips in various flavors, inside local convenience stores and markets. But for now, the One Chip Challenge shelves remain empty. I'm Taylor Moore, reporting for Foothill Community News.
If you've been shopping for groceries, you know the cost of food has gone up. For people on a fixed income, buying the food they need can be unaffordable. For seniors in San Bernardino, there is help. Reporter Stephen Gilson brings us the story.
With the cost of groceries rising due to increasing inflation, California's senior population is suffering from a food insecurity crisis. The city of Montclair is helping combat senior food insecurity by hosting a monthly food pantry for all San Bernardino County residents in partnership with Community Action Partnership. Montclair Recreations Director Deandra Gutierrez says that their main goal is to serve and help their community.
We try not to turn anybody away, and it is just based on where they live. So as long as they're a San Bernardino County resident, then they are qualified to come and receive.
The food pantry in Montclair is mostly made up of volunteer workers who dedicate their time to help fellow residents. Volunteer Alberto Caldera Jr. says anybody can volunteer.
Because I'm an Eagle Scout, I always have that drive to volunteer and help people out.
According to CalMatters.org, recipients of CalFresh have lost up to $200 a month since being cut off from federal funding. This severe cut can affect seniors like Montclair resident Angela Nelson, who receives a monthly food package from the food pantry.
It is really wonderful, really helps you get through the month, and it's good for emergency food. It's just a really terrific program that helps so much.
With the dollar shrinking in value every day, donations and volunteers are becoming more necessary to help support the community. I'm Stephen Gilson Jr., Foothill Community News.
If you're looking for a food pantry or food bank in your area, you can go to findhelp.org. Again, that's findhelp.org. When we come back, we'll take you to a blessing to honor the indigenous people of California.
And we'll take a look at what's going on around the town. Stay with us.
When stress shows up, it can be hard to see. Maybe you can't sleep, or you feel sad and you don't know why. Or maybe it's worse, because stress can knock you down. It can hurt your health and your relationships. If you've lost a job, worry about your next meal, or have trouble making it through the day, we can help. Text STRESS to 211-211 to find a solution.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The University of Laverne paid homage to the indigenous people of California with the Sage Gathering and Blessing Ceremony. Reporter Taylor Moore has the story.
California Native American Day took place on September 22nd and celebrates the heritage and history of the Native Americans indigenous to California. One of the histories is the sacredness of being blessed with white sage to cleanse from sin and be reborn. To signify this rebirth, the University of Laverne held a sage gathering and blessing ceremony. Karuk tribe member Trevor Thompson led the ceremony and says California Native American Day is a day of remembering his roots through the songs passed down through his tribe, which he shared in the ceremony.
So these songs that we have been singing and sharing are songs that have been passed generation to generation. It's an important day to remember our elders, to remember who we are now, and to remember where we need to be.
Participants gathered the local white sage that grows on the university's campus. Then they were blessed with it to harness its spiritual and medical benefits. White sage signifies rebirth and has many healing properties, including removing bacteria from the air and relieving stress and anxiety. Student Jessica Corey says she felt the spiritual connection that white sage offers.
It made me feel like really relaxed, but also connected to nature and like learn a new respect for the plants.
Elena Cardina is the sage tender for the plants used in the ceremony and says they are so important because they also symbolize the elder relatives who have passed on and are now watching over their loved ones.
Sage is one of the 4 great sacred plants in the United States. These are our elder relatives, so we care for them as if they are elder relatives.
The white sage used in this ceremony grows in front of the Ludwig Center on the University of Laverne campus. Students can come anytime to sit, relax, and feel connected to nature. I'm Taylor Moore, reporting for Foothill Community News.
Students who live on campus at the University of Laverne took part in a unique lesson. It was all fun and games while learning about safe sex.
The Ready Set Sex event was for new students who are living away from home for the first time, to educate them on how to be safe sexually.
Now that we have our freedom, we're going to be doing whatever we want now. So it's better if we do decide to have sex at one point in college to go to this event so we learn a lot of what will happen.
Students split up into 3 teams and played games like Sexy Time Jeopardy and Sexy Time Olympics, where students named as many female and male parts as they could in under 2 minutes.
Freshmen are coming here, they don't really know much, and they also have more freedom and everything, so I wanted to make sure that I created a space where they are comfortable and they feel safe enough to talk about these things, and just kind of normalize that sex isn't taboo, and also just emphasizing the importance of consent.
Other activities included Pin the Junk on the Hunk, along with other games that were sexually suggestive and informative.
Yeah, this event is super informative, especially for students who are coming to college for the first time. They have the freedom to kind of do whatever you want to do, and they should, they're by themselves, but you still got to be safe and you still got to do things the safe way.
Fun aside, Reyes emphasized the importance of getting tested for sexually transmitted disease and asking for consent before engaging in sex.
Sexually transmitted infections continue to rise in Los Angeles County and have nearly tripled since 2019. Before you say yes, use a condom and get tested regularly.
Help, resources, and fun were on the agenda in Laverne during its International Night to celebrate diversity and those with special needs. Reporter Brandy Peters was there.
The people were all smiles as they walked into the Community Center Ballroom last Friday to celebrate diversity. About 75 people turned out for the event, which included food and entertainment.
Tonight we're going to be having light refreshments, desserts, some performers going to be dancing ballet folklorico, as well as a DJ playing, the hits as well as some regional music.
Laverne Community Service Coordinator Jesse Cervantes was inspired to organize this event.
So the idea of this event was kind of generated as a result of seeing a need that wasn't there before.
Laverne was awarded $31,000 through a grant from the San Gabriel Pomona Regional Center to fund community engagement events that support diversity and inclusion. International Day is the second of 4 such events the city plans to put on. Parent Jamal Jones says he's grateful for events like this.
It means a lot because there's not a lot of
of programs and events that have that dedicate to the special needs. So it means a lot to us because we have, like I said, we have a child that has special needs and we understand.
Event volunteer and former Laverne City Council member Robin Carter agreed.
Well, I always have wanted to volunteer with this organization because it's very special to me. I had a brother that was Down syndrome, and he passed away a couple years ago, and I wanted just to give back and enjoy the time with these kids and young adults.
Community outreach specialist Josie Martinez was on hand to let people know what help is available to those with special needs.
Great to provide resources to families that came to our table, and just being able to share the different types of services that we offer as an agency.
The guests were treated to international cuisine such as Italian, Mexican, and Japanese-inspired dishes, and had a chance to snap a picture at the photo booth to memorialize the evening. In the end, those who attended left happy and agreed the event was a success.
And how did you enjoy this event today?
It was pretty good.
The city will be using funds to host more events like this. Look out for more festivities this holiday season. Brandy Peters, Foothill Community News.
COVID and the pandemic lockdown caused a lot of people to adopt pets for companionship.
Now, many of those pets are ending up in animal shelters. I visited one shelter which says it's at capacity and struggling to find homes for cats and dogs.
They may have seemed cute and cuddly at first, but now thousands of dogs and cats are being abandoned or surrendered, placing a burden on animal shelters.
That people stopped adopting and started returning all those animals that got adopted when they were home bored, and the shelters were empty, the rescues were empty. Well, they're all coming back.
According to the Los Angeles County of Animal Care and Control, there's a total of 34,000 animals at shelters, the highest it has been since 2020. Volunteers in Defense of Animals, or Vida Rescue in Rowland Heights, tries to find homes for abandoned animals. Currently, they are at their maximum capacity with 110 animals.
And we're only allowed to have so many dogs here, and then at a certain point we have no more space, and then unfortunately we have to make room. So the ones that might need extra love, that have like bad temperaments or stuff, are unfortunately like the ones that have to be put down. But we try our best to find fosters and trainers that are willing to take them.
If you are not able to adopt an animal, shelters also need help with day-to-day activities and encourage kids and adults to volunteer, where they can help clean, feed, and play with the animals.
Well, this is my first time here for today, so I might come this Saturday. So I don't know yet. I might clean the litter or just volunteer to come here.
Next time you're looking for a pet, make sure to visit your local shelter. There are hundreds of animals in need of new homes. If you want to surrender a pet, there are also no-kill animal shelters in our area. To find them, search online for no-kill shelters. Double check to make sure they don't put their animals down.
September 15 kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month. El Pueblo de Los Angeles hosted a variety of events at Olvera Street to celebrate Mexican Independence Day. Reporter Megan Mojica was there to give us a look at the festivities.
Hundreds of guests gathered at the kiosco in historic alleys of Olvera Street for Fiestas Patrias Olvera, a free one-day event filled with music, food, and health education while celebrating Hispanic culture and tradition. Veronica from San Pedro says she's been attending the event for over 20 years.
I celebrate Mexican Independence Day very big. My birthday is actually September 16, so yeah, I'm very proud of my culture.
The colorful event showcased Mexican pride and culture, from the music to vendors and even apparel.
Orgullo Mexicano always, so we love coming here.
Mexican Americans from all over came out big to recognize their holiday and honor their country.
So we came to celebrate being from Mexico, and we just love to make people smile with our little outfits, and so that's why we came, and to just be a part of the community.
The event was not only a fun time for guests, but also helps to keep the culture alive in the community.
Because we have to preserve all the cultures all over around the world. And since we brought them here and we're people from everywhere, I think every country should have an input of their cultures.
The event had a great turnout today. You could really feel the community having a sense of pride in their cultural backgrounds and coming together as one to kick off the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. Reporting for Foothill Community News, I'm Megan Mojica.
Looking to get into the fall spirit? We've got you covered with local events you autumn check out. After 4 years, the California Botanic Garden in Claremont is back with nighttime fun for all. Things that go bump in the night will explore the nocturnal worlds of plants and animals. It takes place on Friday, October 6th from 5:30 to 9. Bring your flashlight. Tickets can be found at calbg.org.
Oktoberfest is back at the Pomona Fairplex. Stop by for Bavarian music, beer, and plenty of chicken dancing. Oktoberfest kicks off October 6th and will be open Fridays and Saturdays until October 21st. Tickets start at $12 if you purchase online ahead of time at fairplex.com.
You can also cruise on down to San Dimas and check out the Via Verde Classic Car Cruise Night. The event takes place Fridays, October 6th from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Via Verde Plaza in San Dimas.
Come to Benelli Bluffs and enjoy a weekend of bluegrass performances, food trucks, games, and fun. It's the annual Huck Finn Jubilee happening at Benelli Park on October 6th through the 8th. Tickets can be purchased at huckfinn.com.
Kids, put on your Halloween costumes and head over to Laverne's 3rd annual Trunk or Treat. Children can safely trick or treat from decorated cars and booths at Laverne City Hall. The event runs from 5 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, October 14th, and admission is free.
And the annual Taste of Laverne Festival is right around the corner. Come enjoy some of the best food the area has to offer. This year, the event will again take place at Coastal Helicopters at Brackett Field Airport, Wednesday, October 18th. Check-in begins at 5 p.m. Tickets are now on sale at tasteoflaverne.com and cost from $45 to $60.
When we come back, we'll have the latest in local sports.
And a sneak peek into the spooky season. We'll be right back.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Fall sports are well underway, and sports reporter Michelle Rodon has been tracking down the latest news.
How's it going, Michelle?
I'll tell you what, things are going well for me, but things are perfect for University of Laverne volleyball. The Lady Leos are 12-0 after beating Caltech on September 26th and are just 2 wins shy of tying the program record for its longest winning streak. ULV volleyball has had a Conference Athlete of the Week each of the 4 weeks this season. The Leopards women's soccer team has a new addition and she's making herself right at home. Forward Serenity de la Torre, a transfer student from Chaffey College, has scored 2 goals each in 2 September games, including her performance on September 23rd. De la Torre led the Leopards to a 2-0 shutout win and earned herself Conference Athlete of the Week honors for her pair of goals. She leads the team in that category with 4. A couple of local high school football teams remain undefeated to start their seasons and have been getting media recognition lately. The Damien Spartans were ranked atop the San Gabriel Valley Tribune football rankings after starting their season 6-0. Meanwhile, across town, the Bonita Bearcats were ranked 3rd by the Tribune for their 5-0 start. And San Dimas High School girls volleyball has more wins nearby than any other team. The Saints are just shy of 20 wins already this season and have put themselves in great positions for CIF playoffs with a 5-0 record against league opponents. That's the latest and greatest in local sports. Now, I don't want to scare you, but spooky season is upon us, and of course I'm talking about Halloween. You still have a few weeks to get your costumes, but some are selling out already. I visited some costume shops to see which ones are in the highest demand. As fall begins, stores are already putting out their Halloween products. including a variety of costumes. Some are proving to be more popular than others.
Some of the most requested ones so far have been Barbie. A lot of Ninja Turtles too has been really popular. And then for kids, a lot of like Wednesday Addams and Five Nights at Freddy's.
At Party City, store manager Stevie Carpenter says movies are influencing sales.
A lot of people are coming in for the funny costumes right now, scary costumes definitely. I think the big jump in movies this year, especially the horror movies, we get a lot of like Leatherface, we get a lot of Scream. I think the big jump in scary movies this year, I think that's what's doing it.
Party City customers Marlon Espiritu and Eliza are shopping early and inspired by a movie.
Well, my daughter wants to be Princess Peach because she saw the Super Mario Brothers movie and she got inspired by that. We tend to shop early just because there's more variety and more choices available. If you tend to wait last minute, then most of the stuff is pretty much gone.
Halloween Express shopper Shannon Hinkle is also shopping early and inspired by movies, but taking a different approach.
I'm looking for something that fits my style but still represents a character, so something more like dark, a specific character.
As the countdown to Halloween continues, so will the demand for Halloween costumes. Stores tell me they expect sales to increase in the coming weeks. If you are looking for Barbie costumes, you could be out of luck.
That'll do for us. You can watch our newscast and previous shows at foothillcommunitynews.org and follow us on X at foothillcomnews.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.